My name is Vergil, and at this moment, I am training under the Demon King Mundus so I can one day take revenge on my mother's killers. My mother was human, and my father, whom I have never even seen in my life, was a demon, which means I am half human and half demon. I spent my entire childhood in this hell-like world, surrounded by demons, forcing myself to become stronger. And I hated the symbol of Argosax, because that symbol was the reason my entire childhood was destroyed. Even today, I still break down remembering the moment my mother died right in front of my eyes. My king once told me, "Devils never cry." And at that exact moment, I killed the crying human Vergil that still existed inside me. My king told me that Argosax was a merciless ruler. He used to devour children alive in front of their own mothers and force those mothers to watch helplessly. He laughed while listening to their screams. But my king, Mundus, was the one who ended that horrifying era because he was stronger. And I too wanted to become stronger, strong enough to kill the murderer of my mother, who at this very moment stood before me. My mother's killer, Arius, had already absorbed the Arcana Chalice into himself, making him incredibly difficult to defeat. I wanted not only his life, but also the Arcana Chalice that he had stolen from my king, Mundus. And this man, the one I believed with all my heart to be my mother's true killer, kept repeatedly telling me that he wasn't responsible for her death. But I couldn't believe a single word coming out of his mouth. Again and again, I demanded answers from him. "You were the one who ordered the attack on my house, weren't you? You were the one who killed my mother." But no matter how many times I asked, he continued denying everything. Then he said to me, "Why didn't you ask the demons who actually killed your mother? Who sent them there? Before you ever got the chance, Mundus himself had them killed by your own hands." And right there, my suspicions finally turned into certainty. There was a traitor among us, something my king Mundus had already warned me about long ago. Because how else could Arius possibly know what truly happened that day? And then Arius himself openly admitted it. "Yes, it's true. There is a traitor among you. Someone sitting at a very high position within the king's court, hiding cleverly in plain sight." Then, with immense arrogance and pride, Arius declared, "You can never defeat him." The moment I heard that, I was just about to rip open his chest, but suddenly he stopped me using the power of the Arcana Chalice. Then he revealed something even worse. He admitted that he was the one who sent that messenger to me back in Makai. And not only that, he had already obtained the other 3 Arcana fragments as well. Now the full power was finally complete in his hands. And with that power, he claimed he could bring Argosax back to his original throne, the very place where my king Mundus currently sat. Argosax, the same king who used to devour children alive in front of their own mothers. That reminds me of Dante, my younger brother. The same brother I had beaten so badly that I practically pasted him onto the wall like wallpaper. And the one who had already reached him to help him was Mary Arkham. I was the one who allowed her to go to Dante in the first place. And the reason I smashed him into the wall like that was because he was standing in my way. Meanwhile, Arius couldn't kill me because he needed my blood in order to achieve his true goal. And eventually, he succeeds in taking my blood. While extracting it, he tells me, "Now, in exactly 22 hours, Argosax will finally be freed." But before he can even finish speaking, my younger brother interrupts him, not with words, but by immediately opening fire. And the moment I break free, I take advantage of the opportunity and slice off one of Arius's arms. I'm just about to separate his head from his body when suddenly that girl jumps in between us, and at that exact moment, the entire building starts collapsing. Taking advantage of the chaos, Arius opens a portal and escapes right out of my hands. But there was no way I was going to let him escape that easily, so I immediately chase after him using a portal of my own, and I teleport directly to the place where he fled. Actually, sorry, not alone. My younger brother Dante and that girl also follow me there right behind me. Then moving forward, we see Dante asking Vergil, "What the hell is going on here?" Vergil replies, "Don't stand in my way, otherwise your master will destroy both worlds within the next 22 hours using the Arcana." Arius wants to use the Arcana to awaken Argosax, the king of destruction. The moment Dante hears that, he responds, "And let me guess, Mundus is the one who told you that story too." Vergil calmly says, "Argosax was the scourge of Makai, a sadistic overlord defeated by Mundus. Humanity's image of hell, fire, and torment came from glimpses of Makai during Argosax's reign. Arius doesn't want to revive Argosax just to kill Mundus, he wants to drown both worlds in destruction." Dante angrily replies, "And yet you were helping White Rabbit open the barrier too, all because Mundus told you to." Vergil answers, "We no longer need the barrier our father created. Human history is built on lies. Our father didn't create that barrier to protect humans. He created it to keep Makai away from human insects." Dante immediately fires back. "Dad never saw humans as insects. If he did, he never would have formed a bond with them in the first place." Vergil angrily replies, "You really think he wanted to create heirs with humans? If that were true, he never would have abandoned us. The truth is simple. He was ashamed that he ever fell in love with a human, and honestly, you should be ashamed too." Dante furiously responds, "How can you say something like that about Mom?" And right there, Dante and Vergil are just about to start fighting once again when suddenly Lady's device detects all 4 Arcana fragments. The Arcana Chalice is still with Arius, but according to the device, the remaining fragments are also somewhere nearby, probably hidden inside inside a basement. Dante asks, if Arius already has all the Arcana pieces, then what's he waiting for? What's so special about these next 22 hours? Lady replies, the eclipse. Tomorrow, a rare hybrid solar eclipse will occur, something that only happens once every 100 years. Vergil then explains, the cosmic energy from the eclipse will allow Arius to fully activate the Arcana, but only if he possesses all 4 fragments. In other words, before the eclipse ends, we need to keep at least 1 Arcana piece away from him. Lady then steps forward and says, alright, then we finally have a plan. I'll lead you 2 straight to the Arcana fragments, but until then, you idiots need to put your childish brother fight on hold. Then the 3 of them head toward the Arcana. Meanwhile, we see Arius inside his lab treating his wounds. Actually, not just treating them, he's building a robotic arm for himself as well. Then the scene flashes back to Arius's childhood. We see him trying to show something special to his father, something his father had been searching for, but instead of appreciating it, his drunken father violently shoves him away and says, you think you're helping me? You are the reason for all my problems. Then he starts beating Arius and says, God wrote all the pain and suffering into our fate. In this world, our worth is no better than garbage. No matter what you or I do, we can never change our destiny. Then the scene shifts again, where we see the president believing everyone has probably been killed by Vergil, but suddenly, William Baines appears in front of him alive. William says, looks like you sold your loyalty to someone else. The president is shocked to see him alive and nervously says, I don't understand what you're talking about. Then William plays an audio recording where the president can clearly be heard admitting that he made a deal with Vergil and gave him Arius's and the Arcana's location. Hearing this, a terrified soldier says, I trusted you. The president immediately panics and shouts, I'm not some weak nobody of a president, understand? And he desperately starts trying to prove his innocence like a madman. But the soldier, already traumatized because so many of his comrades had died, suddenly opens fire on the president and kills him. After killing him, the soldier breaks down crying and says, what have I done? Meanwhile, on a nearby screen, Arius calmly says, well, looks like our problem solved itself. Then the scene shifts again, where Arius remembers all the abuse his father put him through. He can't even sleep properly because of those memories. And then suddenly, Arius picks up a broken glass shard and attacks his own father. He keeps stabbing him over and over until he's completely dead. Actually, it almost feels like Arius enjoys killing him again and again in his memories. Then we see Arius's robotic arm fully replacing his severed one. Suddenly, the Arcana Chalice starts glowing intensely and transports Arius directly before Argosax himself. Argosax says, now, both of us are complete. Arius replies, after 28 lifetimes, we have finally achieved our goal. The complete Arcana, gathered at the perfect moment. Argosax then says, this mortal body shall be honored as the vessel for my rebirth. Arius responds, we will both become vessels for a world finally released from its chains. Argosax replies, yes, liberated by flame. Every law of nature and civilization will burn to ashes. We shall become limitless. Then we return to Dante, Vergil, and Lady, who finally reach the Arcana, protected by a powerful energy barrier. But suddenly, Arius's companion Lucia appears before them to stop them, and within moments, she unleashes an enormous threat upon them. Countless demons created through Arius's experiments. Without hesitation, the battle begins. One by one, they keep killing the demons, but their numbers are overwhelming, making the fight incredibly difficult. Dante says, we need to use more power. Vergil immediately replies, I already am. You're the one fighting like a child. Dante says, we need to work as a team. Remember that game we used to play as kids? The one where we had to capture the flag? All the other kids turned against us, and together we beat them. Vergil replies, what I remember is you knocking over a tree that nearly killed one of the kids. Honestly, I work better alone. Dante laughs and says, my memory's not that sharp, but you still remember how we won that flag, don't you? And with that, the two brothers begin following the exact same strategy from their childhood. Vergil opens a portal and moves in to seize the Arcana directly, but Lucia blocks him. Then Dante tries from another angle, appearing right in front of the Arcana itself, but Lucia pushes him away too. And just like that, the portal closes. The three of them prepare to attack together, but suddenly Arius opens a portal and tricks Dante and Vergil, teleporting them far away. Then he says, and that's the end of your little children's game, and the portal shuts behind them. At the same moment, Lady is barely conscious, and a truck whose driver is fast asleep is speeding directly toward her. Meanwhile, Vergil is still fighting demons when suddenly Arius appears before him. The moment Vergil sees Arius, he completely loses control and attacks instantly. But what he didn't realize was that Arius now possessed a robotic arm. Arius smirks and says, you really are stubborn, aren't you? Then he teleports Vergil away to another location. The scene shifts again, and we see the truck just seconds away from crushing Lady, when suddenly Dante jumps in and saves her life. Lady says, it's over, I lost my chance, I failed again. Then we return to Arius, who separates the fourth Arcana fragment from himself and places it alongside the other fragments. But just as he's about to activate them, the coin-shaped Arcana fragment suddenly flashes red. Then we see Dante holding the real 4th Arcana piece while saying, "You didn't lose." The truth is, at the last second, Dante didn't just retrieve the Arcana fragment. He secretly replaced it with a fake coin that looked completely real from a distance. Then Dante smirks and says, "Jackpot." Arius becomes absolutely furious after realizing he's been tricked. And on the other side, Lady becomes so happy after hearing this that she suddenly presses her lips against Dante's. Yep, she straight up kisses him. And of course, Dante immediately starts enjoying the moment to the fullest. And with that kiss, the episode comes to an end. So come on guys, if you want the next episode, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like too.
Yes, that's it.